King of people, they want to take credit for who you've become. They want to take the credit for who you've become. And so, King of people, this message stems from a message I was listening to. And the young lady was saying how they said that they made you. They are saying that they made you. And she said, God said, do it again. If they said they made you, God said, do it again. Make her again. Which they can't do because they didn't make you. But here's what happened. God took me back to a thing that I have myself when God would speak to me about how people want to take credit for who I am, who I've become. And he would share with me when certain people would say that they made me, that they helped me. So they want to take credit for who I am. And so when God will point this out to me, I would say, well, why they can't make themselves? If they made me, why they couldn't make another me through them? These are people who are nowhere near on the path or trajectory that God has for them. But they want to take credit for who you've become. But they couldn't do that for themselves. They couldn't become who God created them to be. But they want to take the credit for you becoming who God has created you to be. Who you're becoming. You know, a perfect person of person. A purpose, excuse me. A person of person too, okay? So here's the thing, people. I had to reflect upon it, and it brought me to this place where years ago, it was an individual who would give me a hard time. It was an elder. And this elder I knew through the elder that I'm directly related to or was in relationship with. And this was their person. And they would give me a hard time. I mean, from growing up to my young adulthood. And they actually did some inappropriate things towards me as a child. And, you know, we got past that, to be honest, or should I say I got past that, not tripping on this person, but it took me back to this place. And this person really gave me a hard time. They were really ultimately trying to destroy me. They were trying to break my spirit with the things that they were doing that were not cool, were not of God. It was completely of the devil. It was very clear. And what happened was, Kingdom people, obviously I ended up getting away from that situation. I went off, and, you know, God was building me. You know, I began to grow. I began to do better for myself and in my life, of course, with God's help. And what had happened was I happened to be in town, you know, because at this point I have left my hometown. I happened to be in town to do a residency for a program that I was in at the time, and it was in this town. So this person got wind of why I was there. And so they knew that I was on a path and on a trajectory of rising and elevating. And so they started to act like I owed them something. And it really tripped me out because I'm like, I owe you for giving me a hard time. I owe you for how you tried to break me and how you tried to destroy me and you tried to keep me from doing the very thing that you see me doing. Now, let me go back and say again, this is a person that I don't have any issues with. This person has since come to me and told me that they're very proud of me. And the reason why they told me that they're proud of me is because all of what they know they did to me didn't break me. It didn't stop me. I only elevated it. I only elevated beyond that. I was resilient. And so, of course, you know, that was part of God's plan as far as to help this person to see that what they did not stop me. And they were really coming from a sincere place. That was their way of apologizing to me, although they never directly apologized to me, which personally, I don't feel like I needed that. You know, I had moved past it. Although God did tell me some things where he's dealing with this person concerning, even though I looked past it. And I didn't trip, and I just forgave and moved on God still tends to deal with people even though we forgive them. So here, and again, as I said, he told me he was proud of me. He shook my hand and said he was proud of me. This was like way after this fact though. But going back to what I was saying, this person started acting like that I owed them something. They were trying to, in some ways, make it seem like I was where I was because of all of their adversity, everything that they did to try to tear me down, that they did, that they knew was inappropriate towards me, that should have broken my spirit, but it didn't because of God. Now, I want to jump to another person that I was in some kind of ship with, and they said out of their mouth to me, I made you. And when they said that, I'm just like, I didn't have anything to do with who I am, or God didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't say this to this person, but this is what I was thinking. And this person said that because of certain things they did to help me. I just have to point out I did things to help them too. And not just that, but where they claim they helped me, they they helped me in some ways where I was the one that put in the work. They helped me from a financial standpoint at that time. But again, I did that in some ways for them as well. You know, it was one of them kind of things. And so, but as I said, where they claim they helped me, I put in the actual work. And this person, you know, like I said, made the statement to say they made me. Now, let me say this. This person was also an enemy to me. I soon came to realize they were an enemy to me. I soon came to realize the reason why they were doing the things they were doing was so they could say they made me. They were making me their personal project. So again, my thing is, if you made me, why you couldn't make you? Why you ain't better off? Why you ain't who God has called you to be? If you can make me or make you kingdom people be who God created you to be, why they couldn't be who God created them to be? Why they couldn't make it happen? It's because kingdom people, when you're trying to make it happen on your own outside of God, it don't happen. You can't be who God created you to be. But here's the thing, they want to take credit for what you are, who you've become, because of whatever associations they have had with you, whatever they seemingly did towards you, not mentioning or not, you know, bringing up the part of keeping in mind that they also were trying to stop you, block you, sabotage you. See, sometimes people will give the appearance of doing things for you, or maybe they are, but ultimately they're trying to keep you at a certain place. They want you to feel like you need them and that they're your bread and butter, that they're your lifeline, so they can say they made you. At the same time, keeping you from rising above. They're trying to do this to you, giving you something, but doing this at the same time. And when you begin to rise beyond where they tried to keep you from going, and even though they did everything that they could to stop you, block you, and yes, I mean, including witchcraft, black magic, all that dark stuff. Yes, that too. When none of that works, and they see that there's nothing they can do to stop you, and now you are who you've become, you know what they say? They did it. They responsible for who you become. They say that you're the reason, they're the reason why you are who you are. They contributed to who you become. And here's the truth. They did contribute to who you've become, kingdom people. Because as I used to say with this particular person that I just mentioned, I realized years ago, they're helping me to become who God has called me to be. But not by being supportive, again, seemingly being supportive, but really stabbing me behind my back, really being an enemy to me, really being an adversary to me. But I was able to see that they're actually helping me be who God called me to be. God was using that to lift me up. He was using that to help me to press towards the mark of the high calling of Christ. Because when somebody's trying to stop you from that mark, it makes you push towards that mark. And for that reason, kingdom people, for all those reasons, kingdom people, can't even talk. They want to take credit for who you become.